What's up, YouTube? Told you we were coming back. And we'll continue. First of all, if you're just tuning in, I am Riley Brielle Eventhal, and welcome to my show. Also, I would like to welcome my guest, Lori, my best friend, and she's transgendered also. Now, we were going through some different questions and stuff. Oh, look, Pantera's back. We were going through some questions and stuff, and I was going to get back to that. So, where I was at on my next question was, how does the medication like make you feel part of you taking it?
Well, initially, like I like to describe it, is that with testosterone running through my blood, it's like for me, it was like being in the hot sun, a lot of energy, a lot of power, always wanting to go and do things. And when I started with the estrogen, for me, after a few weeks, it felt like I basically had walked into a fog bank and everything had slowed down. That psychologically and mentally, that everything was much calmer for me. Physically, um, as time progressed, I started getting nodules under my nipples, and I said nipples, and
Nipples.
nipples, and they started to grow to a point where they were golf balls. I experienced like chest pain. My breast developed. I got some junk in the trunk. Um, became much harder to lose weight. I try to exercise. I try to maintain my weight. It's a very difficult thing with all this estrogen running through me. But I'm also a lot happier and um, what did I say? That like with my brain, I'm completely rewired. So
Okay. And when we're getting to that point, completely rewired, is it possible? I mean, medically they say it's not. So, I mean, you're going to a doctor, you're seeing an endocrinologist, you're doing everything you need to do. So, is it possibly that you could get rewired by medication? Because medically they say it's not. So, elaborate.
well, look. I don't know the science. I am not a scientist, but I'll tell you that the people that knew me pre-transition and post-transition that knew me both, they have seen the difference from me going from a very masculine male to an extremely feminine female. And they all say the same thing, that I don't think like a male anymore. I think like a woman. I don't, my reactions, not just anything that's forced, just my initial reactions to anything apparently are female and feminine. My therapist, when I asked her, because I made sure I found one that was experienced with transgender individuals, I asked her, I mean, just earlier this year, that she's dealt with so many, how do I rank? How do I rate? And she tells me, hey, you're a natural. She said, I've never met anybody that's transitioned so fast and so easily. She said, this was you
This is
your
true.
entire life.
This is true.
So that's where I am now. Like I was expressing before to you was that I was very into sports. I love baseball and football and things like that. And I still like sports, but they're not my number one thing anymore. I mean, I've kind of drifted away from that. I really enjoy doing a lot of things like cooking and cleaning and sewing. I've had my mother help teach me how to sew, and I've just enjoyed all that. A lot of traditionally feminine things. But don't get me wrong, men cook. Some men are the greatest cooks on the planet. So it isn't just a feminine thing, but traditionally in America, women do most of the cooking. You know.
Most.
Yeah, well, guys do a lot of barbecuing. I'm talking women take care of the kitchens and the house
And we're
for the
making
most
them
part.
get over there and cook now.
Yeah, barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen.
Pregnant.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
with the medication and everything, you're getting used to it. Your body was getting used to it, and you were telling me that you were getting this job at the time. What was going through your mind?
Wow, what was going through my mind? I just started transitioning. I was switching jobs. I'm a truck driver. I drive a semi truck. Uh, Basically male dominated industry with male dominated um, companies and male-dominated offices and people that most likely are not going to understand transgender individuals. So the people that knew me pre-transition, that were truck drivers, that are my friends, said, "Oh my God, you can't go in there as a woman." Because when I took my first pill, I said I was going to live 24/7 as a woman. So less than 30 days later, I'm in orientation for a new company. I go into the company as a man because that's what my friend said. I wouldn't get hired regardless. It's a 3-day orientation. The first day I went through as a male and I couldn't sleep that night. I felt horrible. I didn't feel right. I didn't feel like a human being. I felt like I was pretending to be something I wasn't. So the next day I went in, talked to the chief recruiter. I asked her to have a private meeting with her, and I told her that I was in transition and that I was going to be becoming a woman. She asked me what that meant. And I said, well, basically, in the next few months, I'm going to be growing breasts and I'm living my life 24/7 as a woman. I said, so I'm transgender. I said, if your company is not okay with that, no hard feelings. I will walk out right now. I'm not going to sue you or anything else. I just don't want to be someplace I'm not wanted. And she said, well, I don't see what the problem is. She goes, we have plenty of female drivers. And get my butt back into orientation. So I've been there ever since. They've accepted me. So I'm really happy with that.
Nice. It's not like that with every job, sadly. I've been over this, and if you stay in tune, you know this. If not, it's not like that exactly at every job. Sometimes you get lucky, um, but you got to keep pushing regardless.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, and she's saying it with me. She agreed with me. Know your rights, basically. Know your rights, and enforce your rights when you can, in a moderate way. So, medicine, things are going well. You got this job. Now you're on the road. How do people relate to you?
Well, initially I didn't look like I do now. Initially I looked like a guy in a dress. I mean, truthfully, I even asked my closest friends. I would always ask friends like, "What am I doing wrong? What do you see? What are my tells?" And I would get, even one of my best friends, I was with him all day in Vegas, and I'm wearing a beautiful sundress. And at the end of the day, I said, "All right, Mike," I said, "tell me the truth." I said, "What do you see is an issue?" He said, "Well, honey," he goes, "you're beautiful, and I'm really happy that you're in transition." He said, "But you walk like a man." And I was like, okay, so there's something I had to fix. So I spent a lot of time working on my walk, including like using my hips more, better posture, um, shoulders back, head up. So, your friends, that tell them to be honest. If you're in transition, ask them, tell them to be honest. And then when they tell you you have a problem or that there's an issue, fix it. Don't get mad at them. They're telling you because they're trying to help you and they love you, not because they're trying to hurt your feelings.
And there's the opposite again that we're looking at. That me personally, oh my God, y'all know, I just don't give a shit. I've lived this from 12 until 41. I am who I am. People love me for that. My girl loves me for that. My family, they love me for that. Come what may, they love me for it. And it's how it is. What I've always been trying to get out is be you. Regardless, be you. You want to make perfections? Make perfections. I do want to go back and say that one of the things I said did not come out completely right when I was talking about my voice. This is what I choose. And when I said I'm coming real to y'all, I meant I'm coming real to y'all in my way, not anybody else's. So let's get that on record now. But anyway, moving along, you're out there on the road. Things are progressing. You're getting into who you really are. Home life. If you want to answer, answer. If not, decline, and we'll move to something else. But with the home life, I know being out on the road takes a lot out of everything. But just in general, would you say that as you were transitioning, you were more worried about you or more worried about the home?
I was worried about my home. I was worried about my kids when I came out. I had to talk to them. I took them to therapy with me because I didn't want it to affect them. I told them that I would, if they didn't want me at their school functions or something, I understood because I didn't want to embarrass them or put. But my kids were very good. My children accepted me and said, "Hey, I love you. I want you there." So I was very fortunate. Now for my wife, she was supportive in the beginning. She actually went clothes shopping and things like that with me. But when I started transition, I think she says now that she thought it was a phase. But when I came home after I had did my name change and legally changed my gender, and I showed her my ID, things changed, and they changed drastically in a very short period of time, where we can no longer be together. And even though I still love her, and she did a lot of things to me or against me after that point, I kind of understand because I kind of stole her husband from her. So I didn't do it to hurt her. It's just that she couldn't deal with my transition. So we're in the process of getting a divorce, but we're still trying to do the best we can for the kids and things like that. So it's been a long road for the last 3 years, but it is what it is. And I had to move on, and so did she.
Okay. So the other question, quick, fast, because I'm pressed for time again.
Yes, time.
The other question is LTR. I asked this one. Y'all know this if you stay tuned. Is an LTR obtainable in 2016? Wow, a year later. 2016. Is it obtainable?
Yes, it's obtainable, but you have to be someone that really accepts and loves you, and they have to be someone that you can love. You just can't force yourself into a relationship. You have to really you have to be kind, compassionate, and loving, and accept them for who they are, and they have to do the same for you. Whether you're transgender or you're a biologically straight male or genetically straight female or gay or lesbian, it doesn't matter. Love is love, and yeah, it can work, but you have to put effort. Like I always call it tending to your garden. You have to water the garden. If you don't, it's not going to grow and everything dies.
All right, I'm gonna stop you there. We'll return. Like I said, I'm always pressed for time. I'm gonna quickly try to throw this in here. If you're doing HRTs and you don't have a doctor, stop.
Stop. Definitely stop.
Please. We want you around. If you're lonely, you lost someone, or you're grieving the loss of someone, and you don't know where to turn, get you a pet. You see how mine is? It just sticks his hand right up. Maybe it was giving the bird on.
Hey, I need more friends. If you need someone to talk to,
there you go.
I need all the friends I can get.
And if you're being abused, make it stop. That one day could all you have. Make it stop. 1-800 number down below, one way or another. Make it stop. You're more than I'm pressed for time for this one, and we will continue with this as it's unfolding. Deuces.
Deuces.